yes, there is a new ORCA boat. Looks really cool, but it is behind a Robux bundle, so just keep that in mind. Couple of things to note, there's now a sign, or I guess a little icon that shows the exact location of Grand Reef, and on top of that, right next to Roslet, you guys will notice that there is now an oil rig. If you watched my video from yesterday, then you probably know that we were talking about Mariana's Veil, and it looks like we're already starting to see little tiny signs here and there about that transformation that I was talking about to Roslet. Now, as of right now, I don't exactly know if there is a way to get up to the top, but we will be figuring it out as we go. Can we climb this? Oh, we can. All right, perfect. Well, first, let's start off by talking to Construction Sam over here. Let's see what he's got to say. I can't believe we need to build this thing that quickly. It's a tight deadline, but you'll manage. I know it's a lot of money, but still, how does our guy know all this information? Yeah, the pressure's on, but the investment will pay off in the end. How do we know what's at stake here? Wait, what? That whole interaction was extremely confusing. One good sign here about the oil rig is that there is a shipwright, which is usually a pretty rare thing whenever we get new areas. It seems like it usually takes about an update or two to finally get a shipwright. But let's see what we got going on up here. I can't believe, oh dude, Dr. Glimmerfin is up here. So already I'm seeing two really interesting NPCs, which I'm assuming are going to give us a full breakdown on what exactly is going on here at the oil rig. Just to do a little bit of exploring around here really quick. One thing that I did notice is that when you come up to this stool right here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but that is definitely a submarine, dude. I'm really happy to see that. I mentioned it yesterday. I really hope that they would go ahead and add a submarine into the game, and it looks like there might be plans to it. Now, over here on top of this box, there was also another schematic, which I believe is just a broader view. Oh, wait, what is this? It looks like a completely different build. Yo, is this an aquarium? I'm not 100% sure what this could be, but it's giving me kind of like aquarium vibes. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now, before we get fully invested in everything that these NPCs are going to say, there is one other thing that I want to show you guys, or I guess a couple of other things that I want to show you. When I first jumped into the test server, I got this pop-up that came up, which I'm going to pull a picture up right now on the screen so you can take a look at it for yourself. But it looks like there is some new titles. We got Stormcaller, Ocean's Champion, Abyssal Scavenger, Wave Conqueror, Coral Sovereign, and Mythical Mariner. On top of that, you'll also notice right under it, it says corrected a corrupted treasure map. This has been something that a lot of you have messaged me an absolute ton about, that you need to get rid of some of your maps because they are corrupted. It looks like they've gone ahead and addressed this. And then on top of that, under it, it also says you had corrupted items that are newly corrected. So not too sure about what that exactly is, but good to see that they went ahead and fixed it. Now, really quickly, we won't spend too much time here, but there was a couple of buffs and nerfs, even though realistically it's more like buffs all across the board. Technically, there's only about like 1 or 2 nerfs. But if you notice over here, the Abyssal Spectre went ahead and got its controlled increase from 0.1 to 0.2, and resilience was bumped up from 60% to 70%. Same goes over here for the Champion's Rod, also a buff to control from a 0.15 to a 0.2, and resilience from a 5% all the way up to a 25%. Pretty big buff there on the resilience. Moving on now to the Tempest Rod. This one got some pretty beefy stuff going on. Lure speed was bumped up from 15% to 60%, and the luck was nearly doubled from 70% all the way up to 120%. Looks like they're finally making some of these rods actually worth it from the Atlantis update. Moving over here to Zeus's Rod, also some pretty beefy ones. Lure speed was buffed from 40% to 70%, and resilience from 15 to 20. Now, here is the unfortunate reality that some of you are probably going to get a little heartbroken about. Seraphic Rod did get a little bit of a nerf. Control was nerfed from a 0.3 to a 0.25, and the passive ability on it was also nerfed. Instead of it being a 99% to the progression bar, now it's a 50%. So I also believe that they went ahead and changed the sort of animation here so that it's not so drastic. I'm not 100% sure if that is true or not. Nope, it is still very much blinding, but it doesn't exactly last that long, so it isn't so bad. But